Hi everyone, today we're going to be sculpting the lips. If you missed the episode on the nose and on the mouth, the links will be in the description. Then you can watch that and follow along. Alright, the first thing I'll do is I'm just going to use the grab brush and pull this back. I'm gonna pull this back just a bit because the lips or the surrounding part of the mouth is not flat. It's nowhere being flat, so it's curved and pushes to the back. Then head back to orthographic view. I'm going to use the crease and just set that dividing line between the upper and the lower lip. Right, something like this. So as you can see, we're already having something that looks like the lips. Getting there. Then I'm going to also use the crease and begin to block out the chin and the surrounding area. Use the grab brush now and bring this down just a bit. And going to push it out. Okay. Going to go back to the top of the lip or to the top lip, and now just push this back. Okay. Something like that. And for the lower lip, I'm going to push it back because if you look at references, you see that the lower lip, it sits sort of below the upper lip. Of course, the lower lip, but it pulls in, while the upper lip pushes out more than the lower lip. Typically, in most people, yeah. So that's the generic rule of thumb when you're sculpting the lips. Keep working on the sides of the mouth. I'm going to push this. I want this to look like it's a cutout from the face. I don't want it to look just on its own. I want it to look like it's something cut out from the face. I'm going to use the box trim, and I will just trim the top. Get it. Have that clean edge. Okay, we can work with this. I'm going to go back to the grab and I'll keep shaping the lips. So when you're working on the lips, be sure to pull it out and create this curved shape of the lips, because that's how actually the lips are. Try not to make it flat, because the lips are not flat. They sit on the face, so they curve in and go into the face some more. Okay, I think for this stage it's fine. We've gotten something that we could be happy with. Yeah. Now all that is done, I can begin working on the upper lip. Now, according to the reference I have here, and most people, I'm going to create this ball of flesh over here. Just going to use the clay and create that just slightly. Going to switch to the script brush and begin to form the kind of shape I want for the upper lips. I'm going for something quite something quite bold. Huge lips. I tend to sculpt I tend to enjoy sculpting huge lips, so I've gotten that kind of reference. I'm going to work on the fill trim now. Just create this. I'm going to push this back just a bit. Gonna keep working on that, like get the shape that I'm happy with. As I did before, I'm going to still use the script brush, and I think this shape will do for now. Now, to work on the lower lips, I'm going to use the script brush and just scrape out the edges, scrape out the sides, and this is going to blend in with the chin. All this is of course aided with reference, so I'm going to scrape the sides, and I'm just going to add some flesh over this, just smoothen this area just a bit, because we're trying to get the shapes just before we begin to add the lower lips proper. Yeah, I'm going to pull this down. So as I work on the lips themselves, I also work on the area around the lips. It's quite important. I'm going to continue and crease this area just under the lower lip, and now smoothing it out. I'm trying to create the area around the chin, and of course the chin itself. I'm going to go back to the script brush and just scrape out this area. So as I sculpt, I'm thinking, I look at the reference, I'm thinking of the planes of the lips as I do every other thing I sculpt with. So, looking at, approaching anatomy and sculpting with planes in mind simplifies a lot of things. So I'll use the script brush and create some planes for the lower lip. Then after that, I'm going to add some the lumps of the mouth, or the lips in this case, actually. Mouth, lips, I think, yeah. So just add some lumps with the clay, and then for the upper lips as well, there's also a lump of flesh over here, and here too. I'll use the crease and work on the division again. And right over here, I'm going to use the scrape, just scrape this down, because the lips have to start from somewhere, so that's what we're going to do. Go back to the crease. As I said in previous videos, it's it's not a straightforward process when you're sculpting anything. Actually, you tend to go back and forth a lot. That is why this stage is very important. So don't just rush to the finished project, like finished mesh or finished anything. Just try to fall in love with the process and rotate a lot and make some changes. So I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to create the fill trim here. Oops. I think I'll use the clay strips. Just create this. Okay. The curvature of the mouth is very it's very obvious, it's very visible compared to stuff like the nose and the eye. You could as a beginner you could be tempted to think that they are flat, but for the lips, uh, you can't really miss it. You can't really miss it. So it's something to keep in mind that the lips do not sit on a flat surface. So always remember that it's one of the most important things to remember when sculpting believable lips, whether it's realistic or stylized. Unless, of course, the the style you're going for sort of works, But in most cases, you just want to make that curvature to be bold. Yeah, I'm going to add the bump. I'm going to add more bump here. Don't think I'm satisfied. Yeah, something like this is fine. And then these other areas are less bumpy than this protruding part, but I won't call them flat. I try not to call organic, and once you're talking of organic shapes, I just don't like to call things flat because they never really are. Yeah. I'm going to use the crease and just to keep emphasizing the division between the upper and the lower lips. And then I zoom out. I do that a lot. I'm going to use the clay strips and just make the borders of the upper lip a bit more obvious, a bit more visible, prominent. Whatever word you want to use, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just to emphasize the borders of the lips some more. This is where the lips start, caves in. So now one thing that adds to the entire look of the lips is this little bump to the sides, which is where lots of muscles come together, sort of meet. So I'm going to use the clay strips just at the sides of the lips. First of all, I like to really emphasize it at first, and then I could always smoothen it out later. Increase the strength and just work on that area. And then once you get the shape you like, you can go in and soften those shapes and make it very subtle. I'm going to use the crease. Go to this side, look at it from the side. Right. So it's something that could be missed, but by the time you add it, it adds to that look, the entire look, and just it completes the look of the lips. And just scrape that. Now we have the basic shape of the lips right now. But of course there's still a lot that you could do. So when you're sculpting the lips, try to think of the lips as there are lots of forms, lots of shapes there that form the lips. So try not to think of it as just a bunch of lines. Sometimes you see when you're sculpting, you could just get a crease brush and then you just begin to crease away. To create the upper lip, you do something like this, and then the lower lip, you just put a line. But to understand the forms, as you look at the references, you see that they are shapes sitting on top of each other, or overlapping and stuff like that. So think of the lips and every other part of the body, and the organic things you sculpt. Think of them as different shapes heaped on each other. There's some overlap. They blend in, and then they give you uh, the final look that you're going for. It's not just lines across. So I'm going to speed up the video, and then we could come back and see the finished product. Finished mesh, finished model. Yeah. And I've done some changes to the mesh, polished the balls of these bombs, really emphasized them and just made it look like a cutout from a face. Done some just basically made it smoother and made it nicer looking. Last thing I'll do is add some vertex colors. Going to reduce the saturation just a bit, and I'm going to feel that. I think I'm going to also increase the value and just paint some lip color. Yeah. So as I said before, sure to always rotate around your mesh, see it from all views.